Hello everyone and welcome back. Karthik has gone on an office tour, and while I miss him, I also admit that my routine flows quite smoothly when he's away. But when he's around, he loves indulging the kids and making things extra fun for them. And no matter how structured I try to be, those little spontaneous moments always win. But I have come to realize that while the routines may feel a bit off sometimes, these joyful, slightly chaotic evenings are absolutely worth it while the kids are still young. However, today I decided to make an early and quick dinner so I could enjoy a relaxed evening, spending quality time with the kids and a little quiet time for myself as well. So today's dinner is quick paneer herb rice bowl with creamy tandoori gravy. It's one of those meals where the prep does most of the work because the actual cooking time is very minimal. I have chopped some colorful veggies like bell peppers, spring onion, broccoli, and grated plenty of garlic to use in both rice and the gravy. Well, let me tell you, if there is one recipe you want to pick from my channel, then this should be it. I consciously try to include protein in every meal, so I'm adding paneer to the rice bowl. Since it's herb rice, I have also chopped a generous amount of fresh coriander to enhance the flavor and freshness. But you can also add other herbs like mint, parsley, etc. While gathering the ingredients, I realized I had run out of roasted cumin powder, so I quickly made a fresh batch. Once you have experienced the flavor of freshly ground spices at home, it's honestly hard to go back. So, even if it takes a few extra minutes and a little more effort, I'll happily choose that for the freshness and flavor it adds to our meals. Now, I'm taking my iron kadai because we need a good non-stick surface for sauteing the paneer. I'll add a little butter along with some oil for extra flavor, and once it heats up, in goes the diced paneer with a pinch of salt and pepper. This kadai has truly been one of my best buys. It speeds up cooking, requires less oil since it's nicely seasoned, and I know it's going to stay with me for years. If you're looking for a small kadai, this is definitely worth considering. I'll share the link in the description box for you to check. Next, I'll add the minced garlic and saute it for just a minute. Adding it slightly later helps retain that strong, beautiful garlic flavor. Once that's done, I'll mix in the boiled rice that I had cooked earlier in the afternoon. A little salt, lots of freshly chopped herbs, and our paneer herb rice is ready. And believe me when I say this, right now the kitchen smells absolutely heavenly. Next, for the creamy sauce, I'll melt some butter in a pan and add the remaining garlic, sauteing it for just a few seconds until fragrant. Then in go all the chopped veggies. I have cut them nice and small because otherwise the kids tend to avoid the bigger chunks. And look at it, these colorful veggies already look so vibrant and inviting in the pan. Now I'll season it with salt, pepper, roasted cumin powder, red chili powder, Kashmiri red chili powder, garam masala, and a little kasuri methi. Give everything a good mix so the spices coat the veggies beautifully. To create that creamy texture, I'll add 1 teaspoon of roasted oats. I'm using regular quick oats, but you can also powder them before adding. Then pour in 1 cup of milk and keep stirring until it thickens slightly. Lastly, in goes some cheese, which adds a lovely umami flavor and makes the gravy even creamier. For a touch of color, sweetness and slight tanginess, I'll mix in 2 teaspoons of tomato ketchup. And just like that, our easy, creamy veg tandoori style gravy is ready. Now let's quickly plate our rice bowl, proper bowl style. I can totally relate with mom's idea of going effortless on meals when dad was not around. Maybe it's psychological, but when Karthik is home, I feel like cooking something more elaborate. But in his absence, I give myself permission to keep things easy and relaxed. And that's why I made this quick rice bowl today. Pour the gravy inside or around the rice, however you like it. I repeat, if you haven't tried any of my recipes, I would request you to try this one, and it might just become your next staple meal. After dinner, Ruthvi had some pending schoolwork, so she quietly sat down to finish it. And as expected, the moment the elder sister opens a book, the junior suddenly becomes very academic, pretending he too had a very important chapter to revise. I sat with him and helped him go over his work. You know how they say the second child is easier? I believe it's true. I was the second child too, a bit of a free soul, and I see the same vibe with Dharya. Sometimes I feel like I don't hover over Dharya as much as I probably did with Ruthvi, and yes, there are moments of guilt. But then I feel amazed at how he just picks things up by overhearing, sometimes by observation, and sometimes by confidently explaining something that I'm not even sure I taught him. I think as a parent, we give our PhD level effort to the first child. By the second, we are experienced, slightly tired, and way more relaxed. So things run on autopilot. But jokes apart, watching him grow and figure out the world in his own way makes my heart so full. I may laugh about the second child theory, but I secretly hate how fast he's growing up. By the way, do you relate with this second child theory or is it the other way? Do share your stories in the comment section for everyone to enjoy. Once the kids are asleep, I move into my quiet night rhythm, finishing a few small preparations for the next day. Usually, most of this revolves around Karthik's lunchbox, but since he's away, there are a fewer preps to do. I soak nuts every night because that's usually my pre workout meal before heading to the gym. Otherwise, I tend to skip it. Pairing or stacking habits like this really helps me stay consistent. When one action automatically leads to another, you don't need additional motivation. For tomorrow's lunch, I soak some dal. I've started soaking lentils at least 12 hours before cooking, no matter what lentil they are. It helps making them easier to digest and also improves nutrient absorption. Plus, soaked lentils cook much faster, saving both time and gas. I also begin my mornings with warm water, so lately I've been adding a few raisins to soak overnight. In the morning, I add hot water and drink it and eat the soaked raisins. Again, this is habit stacking in action. Since I already drink warm water daily, adding raisins ensure I stay hydrated and nourish my body at the same time without needing extra effort. Lastly, before winding up the kitchen, I prepare my green tea. Linking it to my night routine ensures I don't skip it. Small systems like these quietly support good health, not through big dramatic changes, but through simple, consistent habits repeated every day. I'm not really a TV person, but once in a while, especially when the kids sleep early, I enjoy catching up on Netflix. Lately, I've been hooked on a few suspense thrillers and have already finished a couple. There is something about a good storyline that keeps the mind engaged after a long day. If you have any recommendation for a gripping Netflix series, do share them in the comments. I'm always looking for something worth watching. To tell you the truth, I find folding laundry the most monotonous chore. So I've started pairing it with something interesting to watch. It helps me take my mind off the task while still getting the work done. What would otherwise feel like a 30-40 minute of routine work now feels like quite me time. Something I surprisingly look forward to these days. Skincare at the end of the day is non negotiable for me. Well, winters make it slightly tougher compared to summers because the dryness can feel overwhelming. So, to reduce that overwhelm, I keep my routine very simple. During winters, I use the Bioderma moisturizer as it hydrates my skin really well and keeps it soft for hours. It's nourishing without feeling too greasy and locks in moisture beautifully. If you have a really dry skin, I would highly recommend this one. Recently, I've also started using a serum from Kiehl's and I've been loving the results. I go easy with it, just 2 drops are enough. A little truly goes a long way. Lastly, I use a retinol based eye cream from Minimalist to keep the skin around my eyes hydrated and cared for. And that's it. Nothing complicated. Sometimes keeping things simple is exactly what helps you to stay consistent. And since I was already in that self care momentum, I decided to do a head massage as well. Winters can make the scalp dry too, and a good chumpy at night feels incredibly relaxing. Habits are not as tricky as we think of. I truly believe habits are less about motivation and more about right mindset and small thoughtful planning, making things feel effortless rather than overwhelming. At the end of the day, reading a few pages of a book feels like the perfect closing ritual for me. I usually pick light, simple reads to avoid any friction, but I consciously make an effort to stay away from phone at night since it tends to disrupt my sleep cycle. Small routines, habits, and mindful practices give a gentle structure to my day. Of course, some days don't go as planned, but having a rhythm to return to helps me stay aligned with my purpose and makes every day feel a little more grounded and manageable. And that's all for today's vlog. A simple night filled with small routines, mindful habits, and little moments that make homemaking feel meaningful. Do like the video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue building these small, beautiful routines together. You can also join me on Instagram for more everyday homemaking inspiration. And I'll see you in my next vlog very soon.